Development of creativity of students in higher educational institutions. Assessment of students and experts. At the present stage of the development of society, one of the main functions of education is the development of human capital as the most important resource of the modern economy. Despite the fact of one of the key factors of human capital growth is its creative element, science has not yet formed a consensus about the conceptualization of the notion of creativity. Guilford defines creativity as a multipurpose cognitive creative ability, highlighting its four main characteristics: fluency, flexibility, accuracy, and originality. Torrance, continuing and developing the ideas of Guilford, defines creativity as the process of manifestation of sensitivity to problems, lack of knowledge, disharmony, searching for answers and solutions, promotion of hypotheses, their verification, and the formation of results. Maslow considers creativity in connection with the needs of the individual. The higher is the level of demand, the higher is creativity. Creativity is inherent in every person, but most people lose it as a result of the influence of various factors. Problem statement. In the modern world, those specialists who are able to generate new ideas are in high demand. From innovative models and propose and implement competitive projects, the success of such an activity is mainly ensured by the high level of creativity in such specialists. Government and business representatives, not without reason, expect to get workers for decent, well-paid jobs from among young specialists and university graduates. The great creative potential of young people, competently and methodologically designed and implemented, brings great dividends to employers. However, in universities, it is not always possible to timely identify and skillfully form a vector for the development of a student's creativity. The problem arises of matching the needs of the labor market, including specific employers in obtaining creative specialists from higher education institutions and insufficiently developed mechanisms for the formation and development of creative potential in students in the framework of performing labor functions in the chosen specialties and areas of training as a particular problem in this matter. One can mention the mismatch between the misunderstanding of creativity by all participants in both the educational and labor process. The ongoing research on this issue, unfortunately, has not revealed the real mechanisms, causes, and factors determining the solution to this problem. A number of researchers consider ways to solve the problem due to the continuity of training in the multitasking mode of uncertainty, as well as the development of proactivity, orientation to results, and willingness to receive additional education and skills. The problem of the mismatch between the education system and the needs of the labor market is raised. Employers bring up the lack of practical skills among graduates of Russian universities, and graduates themselves have a low opinion on the development of their creativity and willingness to actively engage in the labor process. Only small part of them believes that the knowledge and skills acquired at the university are enough. Moreover, studies suggest that it is soft skills, including creativity, that provide 85% of career success. The high need for active, creative young specialists in the labor market and the lack of established mechanisms for identifying and developing creativity among students made this study necessary. Research goal. The goal of the research is to investigate the state and nature of the development of student creativity in the learning process in higher education from the perspective of students and the expert community. Research tasks. In accordance with the goal of the research, the following research tasks were formulated. Number 1, to reveal the conditions and factors for the development of creativity of students in the learning process in higher education institutions. Second is to describe the state of the development of creativity of students in universities. To identify the states and the nature of the developments of students' creativity in the learning process in higher education institutions, experts were involved, including government officials responsible for training, as well as those who assess the level of training of graduates when they enter the labor market. Their activities are directly related to the creation of conditions and applications of technologies for the development of the creative potential of young people. The experts also included representatives of the faculty, which directly uh, train personnel determining and developing creativity in students. All of them are specialists in the field of higher education. So we can see in the research methods, the objective indicators of the expert group are position, Chief Deputy Head of Department of the Federal Agency of Scientific Organizations, Ministry of Economic Development. There are four participants. Funds. Chief Deputy Head of Department of the Ministry of Education and Science. There are four participants. Professor, University Lecturer, seven participants. Age of experts, up to 30 years old, one participant. 30 to 39 years old, three participants. 40 to 49 years old, five participants. Participants 50 years and older is six participants. Work experience of experts less than 5 years is one participant. 5 to 7 years, only two participants. 8 and more years, there are 12 participants. Distribution of experts by sex, men 10, women 5 participants. In-depth semi-structured interviews were conducted with the experts, allowing revealing their opinion on the state and nature of the development of student creativity in the learning process in higher education. Institutions in the student community. Students of the areas of training participated in the survey which require creativity in professional activities. These were students of four higher education institutions: the Mendeleev University of Chemical Technology of Russia, Lomonosov Moscow State University, Moscow Institute of Physics and Technology, and Moscow State Tchaikovsky Conservatory. In order to determine students' opinions, a survey was conducted allowing technologically, anonymously, and in short time revealing their opinion to the state and nature of the development of student creativity in the learning process. So, as we can see in the table 1, findings, assessment of the degree of the development of qualities. Students were asked to formulate and assess the extent of quality development that are meaningful elements of creativity. The table 1 shows the average assessment by respondents of the development of a particular quality. The qualities in the table range from most developed to least developed. The average score is 3.6 on a 5-point scale. According to the table 1, it can be seen that the most developed are such qualities as the ability to abandon stereotypical ways of solving problems, openness to new experience, individualism. Students did not rate any of the proposed qualities as fully developed. Underdeveloped students named such as important qualities as a tendency toward symbolic, associative thinking, the ability to notice unusual details, contradictions, and uncertainties. At table 2, distribution of answers to the question who or what is more conducive to the development of creativity in the learning process at the university. The analysis of the table data shows that teachers are the basis of the development of creativity in students. This indicator is significantly ahead of others. This means that the creative potential inherent in young people requires its competent disclosure with the help of specialists and technological development. This fact is associated with the need for a more thorough and demanding selection of teachers, as well as training them in the technology of working with students, aimed at identifying creativity and targeted individual approach to creative talent. In their work, it is advisable for teachers to use more practical exercises with elements of gamification that develop the creativity of student thinking. It should be noted that high enough students rated participation in student organizations, meeting with representatives of Russian and foreign companies, state and public organizations, expert workshops. These results make it clear that face-to-face learning, contact with the teacher and other participants in the educational process are one of the main sources of learning and self-development. Students also learn from each other, processing new knowledge gained from their own experience. This aspect is very important as students have a pronounced individuality in which the exchange of knowledge, is not copying but becomes a creative process. Table 3, distribution of answers to the question, which forms of studies at the university are more conducive to the development of creativity? So that table so the practice, research activities, project activities, business games are the most useful forms of educational activities which contribute to the development of creativity. Lectures, coursework, and laboratory, which are traditionally used in the educational process, were not evaluated by students as effective for the development of creativity. Conclusions. The study has revealed that the process of formation of students' creativity occurs under the influence of a group of factors in certain conditions. First of all, these are the very conditions of studying at university. The degree of students' creativity depends on the academic atmosphere and involvement in creative work. The conditions for the formation of creativity also include the interdisciplinarity of scientific research, which requires coordination of creative processes during the development of fundamental knowledge, highly specialized skills, and universal human qualities. The necessity of developing creative on the basis of the resulting fundamental education has been revealed. Creativity should be an integral complement to professional skills. It has been noted that the study of humanitarian disciplines contributes to the development of creativity since creativity is inseparable from the value, worldview component of the personality. The research work of students has a high potential for the development of creativity in almost all scientific fields. The most important condition in which the development of students' creative potential occurs is a mismatch between the education system and social, cultural, political, and economic conditions of life. As the study has shown, in the conditions of instability of the education system and its priorities, the development of students' creativity is significantly hampered. The analysis of university practice has made it possible to identify the most effective methods of increasing creativity in students during classes. These include interactive gaming, training methods, and forms of classes. The leading place in the achievement of goals of the development of creativity, according to students, is taken by teachers, their professionalism. Interpersonal interaction with them motivates students to create innovative projects. The creative communication environment at events in universities, enterprises, exhibitions, and conferences allows one to develop a taste for this type of student activity. Thus, the development of students' creativity is one of the main goals of the activities of the university teachers. The nature and degree of development of student creativity depend on their skill, personal creativity, as well as the application of innovative methods and forms of conducting classes. The ability to captivate students with research work also lies in the plane of increasing motivation for the development of creativity. Moreover, university administration should comprehensively approach the development of creativity in all areas and at all levels of management, creating favorable conditions for the creativity of the educational processes. That's all. Thank you.